Hello, my little Cheshire cats. How are you? I hope all is well. Well, today I am like the cat that got the cream. As I saw this on the website law.com, as always, links will be below. So, as you can see from the headline, they are following up on the case between Watchtower, Jehovah's Witnesses, and the Redditor user Darkspilver. So let's see how they summarise the latest. So this is from August the 7th. Jehovah's Witnesses want to unmask a Reddit user and contracted attorney fees come under scrutiny in the California settlement. That's a different story they have below it. So we have this US district judge. They're saying copyright law is in the eye of the beholder. That's quite funny. District Judge James Donato weighs in on a Jehovah's Witnesses organization's efforts to uncover the identity of a Reddit user. And if anyone's been following this, the Reddit user in question, what did he or she do? Yeah, they posted a money-raising advert on Reddit for commentary. I mean, what a terrible thing to do. So let's have a look. So there is James Donato looking serious. Great subheading there, copyright infringement or censorship. A federal judge cast small doubt Thursday over a case that a Jehovah's Witnesses group calls a copyright dispute and that a digital rights group fears is a pretext for silencing detractors. In last week's hearing, U.S. District Judge James Donato of the Northern District of California raised an eyebrow over the continued legal avenues for Watchtower, Bible and Tract Society of Pennsylvania. I pointed this out before, but please note, in case you missed it, Watchtower, 2 words, is a separate legal entity to Watchtower, 1 word. The Jehovah's Witnesses administrative organisation that subpoenaed Reddit in January for the identifying information of a foreign user, who I believe is in Britain, they said, who reportedly infringed 2 of Watchtower's copyrights. Oh, they've suffered so much under this. We send out people, like millions of people every week, to distribute this stuff for free, and someone else distributed it for free, and we're suffering. Back to real life, the user allegedly infringed the copyrights when he posted a 1-page magazine, as I've said, advertisement encouraging readers to make online donations to the church. And for anyone who's not a JW, the reason why it's shocking to people who have been part of that organisation is they said they would never solicit money. and now they're just heavy into it. And a Watchtower chart that describes its personal data gathering policies. Wow. Both the works have since been removed from the site. I mean, one just wonders how they survive, really. I mean, Jehovah must be awake all night, whatever the equivalent is. I'm just thinking, how am I going to manage? My organisation, my representation on Earth has had these 2 things published. It's terrible. The poster is outside the territory of the US. The church's main concerns have been addressed by the takedown, Donato said. Wait for this. Isn't that enough to call it a day? Oh, nicely said, Judge Donato, but in Watchtower land, it's not enough, because on top of that, you have to have your entire family taken away from you. Maybe lose your job, maybe lose your accommodation. I mean, everything has to be destroyed. So it's never enough. Vindictiveness with a capital V is what happens. So they're giving you some history. Let's backtrack a bit. Earlier this year, Reddit declined to share, good for them, the identity of the anonymous user. That person, identified only as Darkspilver, uses the forum to question the teachings of the church. And gosh, that's a full-time job, without fear of excommunication or disfellowship from the Jehovah's Witnesses, and I'll add shunning, community he was raised in. The subpoena seeks Darkspilver's subscriber information, name, telephone number, address, email and IP addresses. They wanted this from me as well. Citing infringement under the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. They published an advert. Will be asked for money. In June, U.S. Magistrate Judge Sally Kim of the Northern District of California ruled that Reddit must reveal the identity of Darkspilver but only to attorneys involved in the case. So again, if you're not up to date, I'll just add to that. The attorneys are J-Dubs, working in Patterson, working in their headquarters, and we all know that they are supposed to answer to God above law. So if they had a choice, they would either have to give Darkspilver's real name to everyone else, or be excommunicated and shun themselves. The Internet Freedom Advocacy Group, Electronic Frontier Foundation, intervened on behalf of Darkspilver to try and quash the subpoena, which the EFF argues is a thinly veiled attempt at uncovering the identity of a leaker. Yes, it is. So before getting into the merits of the case during Thursday's hearing, Donato had to determine whether Kim's order stood. EFF argued that Darkspilver never officially consented to a dispositive motion in front of Kim, which is required for a magistrate judge to have the authority to issue an order. I'm in the UK. That's just gone way over my head. If anyone else can explain that, wonderful. Please do below. That argument came despite Darkspilver's attorneys submitting briefings and appearances in the case. This is interesting. Known among my colleagues for being the most prepared person in the room, Donato rattled off several cases, including Royal versus Withrow, to suss out implied consent. In Donato's opinion, if you come to the party and drink the punch, you can't say you weren't a guest. Ooh. However, precedent says otherwise in Allen versus Mayer. The circuit has expressly declared that simply submitting briefs and attorney arguments just isn't enough, he said. I'm not sure if that's the answer, but that's the answer I'm left with. Donato subsequently suggested taking Kim's ruling as a recommendation instead of an order. Nice one. With that out of the way, the judge returned to the copyright argument, which is specious at best. Watchtower's in-house counsel, I love this guy so much, Paul D. Polidoro. They love them doing initials in Watchtower, don't they? They love it. Said the church became wait for this. Oh, sorry. They drive me crazy. The church became a digital media organisation virtually overnight. It doesn't happen, does it, like that overnight? It doesn't happen overnight. I mean, I've been online since the 90s. I don't know what stage it was I started doing websites and things. I mean, we're talking way back when. And this is God's organisation on earth, according to them. So God would have been way ahead of the curve. He'd have gone, right, guys, there's all this internet stuff, right? Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, I was just waiting for you all to get the hang of it. So it's going to happen, so let's all get our heads down and get sorted. But no, they got caught with their pants down, basically. Unlike the paedophiles who... Anyway, it's just rubbish. They didn't become a digital media organisation overnight. Rubbish. Polidoro claimed the infringing posts drew traffic away from the organisation's website. What? And Watchtower had a right to protect its site, an official conduit for Jehovah's Witnesses' teachings. Well, darlings, if you want to keep that website going and your online library, you're going to have to sort it out because you've still got tons of stuff on there that contradicts itself. You're contradicting yourself so much. I mean, there's just there's so much evidence out there. So, it's your own faults. And what did you get? You got someone putting up an ad for you asking for money. What's wrong with you? And links. The links were there. So Donato, the judge, said, wait for this, that's what the notification and takedown process is for. But this isn't why they did it, of course. Alex Moss, an EFF staff attorney representing Darkspilver, said the DMCA could be invoked to unmask other anonymous internet posters who won't have the EFF or anyone else defending them if Donato rules in Watchtower's favour. However, Moss said Donato's questions had her leaving in a good mood. Yeah. We weren't surprised that Judge Donato came to the hearing extremely well prepared, but we were pleasantly surprised by the indications he gave, particularly with respect to procedural questions, about the appealability of the magistrate judge's order and the practical necessity of Watchtower getting access to client's name now that the images at issue have since been removed from Reddit, she said. We hope that Judge Donato's decision will take into account the nature of our client's fair use and the harm that compelling Reddit to disclose the user's identity under these circumstances would do for the anonymous fair use commentary. Well, in the same way that Watchtower never allows anyone to bow out gracefully from their org, they never bow out gracefully from legal cases. So I would expect them to come back. I would expect them to do that. I have a personal interest in this, of course, as do many other people. So we shall see where it goes, but I'm going to link one of this is just going to be one of my favourite clips forever and ever, I think, now, from Leonard French, who's a copyright lawyer and expert on that. And as he said, copyright law isn't there for you to expose whistleblowers. It's not there for that. And he gives his comment as to Polidoro using this. So I'm happy. That makes me happy. Might be getting time for me to post some personal stuff about this soon. We'll have a look. You take care, everyone, and be happy and keep going. Lots of love. Bye for now.
I'll give it marks for clever, but not for ethics and professionalism, Attorney Polidoro. Anyway.
Well, even as those miners depended on canaries to save their lives, when it comes to human rights, as I'm going to explain in the next few minutes, Jehovah's Witnesses are the canaries in the coal mine of human rights.